Welcome to episode 5 of Scratch Social. Can't believe it's been 5 episodes, Paddy. We're here and we're very excited once again.
Still buzzing. I can't get over the level of engagement on the socials. You know, we're a small account, being boasted a bit by our own accounts, but even then, like, we're doing pretty outrageous numbers for the size of us, you know, so very thankful for everyone. Like, we've posted the other day, it was shared 190 times.
Wow.
What? Press play on your podcast feeds. Let's get this up up the rankings, because people like the clips. So let's listen to the long form bit. Buzzing. I love talking golf and love talking golf with you, and we have an insane surprise for people listening today with our first guest ever on the show.
We sure do, and she's a very, very special player. But before we announce who is joining the podcast today, I think we've got some big news to tell everybody from the past couple of days. What is going on, Paddy? What's the news?
Lots of news. It's award season. So Rory McIlroy, Lauren Walsh, no strangers to the golf scene in Ireland, have been honoured as the 2025 Men's and Women's Professionals of the Year for their outstanding achievements by the Irish Golf Writers Association, IGWA. McIlroy, no surprise there, won the Masters, achieved the career Grand Slam in the men's game, one of the 6th person ever to do it, first European, won 3 more times, just, you know, to bolster the bank account. Massive events as well, the AT&T in Pebble Beach, the 5th major, the Players' Championship, and the Amgen Irish Open back in the K Club, along with winning his 7th Order of Merit title and winning, helping Europe win the Ryder Cup away in Bethpage Black. So yeah, Rory, no surprise. Lauren Walsh, though, won the Women's Award for the 2nd year in a row, finished a career-high 10th in the Ladies European Tour Order of Merit in just her 2nd season on tour, and then went on to win her LPGA Tour card last week in Alabama. Men's Amateur of the Year. This was hot contention because, you know, there's a certain fella from County Louth that won the career Grand Slam of Irish majors, but Stuart Grehan got the nod this year. He won multiple times. He represented GB&I in the St. Andrews Trophy, represented GB&I in the Walker Cup. Looks like Evan Tiernan in one of the most beautiful places to play golf in the world. I've never been. I've only seen pictures in Cypress Point. Meanwhile, Tremore's Anna Dawson, Robin's younger sister, I believe, was awarded Women's Amateur of the Year. She edged out Beth Coulter, Anya Donegan, who's turned pro, Emma Fleming. Anna won the AIG Irish Women's Amateur Close Championship in RD this year, and earned her first international, a call for home internationals held in the home of English golf in Woodhall Spa. So yeah, that just, I think, is testament to the conveyor belt of great golfers coming out of this country.
I totally agree, and it's only when you put it into, you know, a short segment like that, you realise the talent that is coming through and all the work that the clubs and Golf Ireland and the universities are doing. It's all starting to pay off. And so congratulations to them all. And I am very lucky to be attending that awards tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing them.
You're one of the ladies who's lunching at this thing in a couple of days' time.
Somebody has to do it, Paddy.
Well, there's plenty of men lunching there as well. Don't worry, there's plenty of lads there on the DOS. And the women are there doing serious work. Have you any news this week for us?
I sure do. And it's something I wanted to highlight. And we're only 5 episodes in and we haven't really spoken about PGA Tour events, LPGA Tour co-sanctioned events. But last weekend, the Grand Thornton Invitational happened. And it's a mixed event. It's 54 holes, LPGAs, players, PGA Tour pros get together and they play. And the reason I want to highlight this is because Lexi Thompson and Wyndham Clark and Charlie Hull and Michael Brennan, now they were playing a scramble, but it still doesn't matter. They shot 55s, 17 under in one round in that tournament. It is absolutely incredible. And look, I have to obviously give credit to Lauren Coughlin and Andrew Novak, who ended up winning the tournament by a shot. But Paddy, 17 under in a scramble. You know, these men's and women's combined competitions, they're really fun, they're really exciting. It got a lot of TV coverage and a lot of online social content too, so clearly there's a need for it. And so I just thought I'd flag that because 17 under is absolutely insane. And more exciting Irish golf news. Anya Donegan has topped the LET Q School qualifier last Friday, and so that means that she's going on to Marrakesh this week to the final stage of Q School, joined by Kenise Green, Olivia Mahaffey, Annabelle Wilson, all vying for a tour card on the LET for 2026. So we wish them the best of luck, and we'll keep everybody updated because I know those players and they're so fantastic and they really, really deserve it. So I think it'll be really competitive. There'll be very, very fine margins, and whoever gets through in the end, absolutely fair play to them. And if anybody doesn't make it, you go back next year and you give it a go again.
And there's 90 players. The top 24 get a card. The next 25 get partial status and so on. But like our special guest alludes to today, it's 5 rounds of golf. It is mental tyranny. So yeah, the very best looks at them. I was looking to see how we can follow along, and a live leaderboard will be available to fans around the world right on the LET website. So we'll actually put that in the show notes below, and you can also follow along on the Ladies European Tour social media pages and YouTube channel. Now, real important stuff we're going to cover, Eimear McManus, is this week. This is a theme that people want to know more and more about, and it drives opinions. And the most important thing about opinions is that's exactly what they are, only your opinion. What golf course is your choice for this week for under €50 green fee?
Okay, I thought about this a lot. I suppose I'm down in Limerick. I don't want to be too biased towards the south of Ireland, but my golf course under €50 this week is Nina Golf Club in Tipperary. Now, the reason I really love this golf course is I've played it on a few societies. Such a nice club. It's dry pretty much all year round. And this is the amazing thing about Nina. It's whatever way the soil is, whatever drainage.
Great land in North Tipperary, great farming land in North Tipperary, great drainage up there. We wouldn't have that in Clare now. But in Tipperary, the best of the best.
But it really is, like, Nina's so nice. It's just so dry, and it's a good challenge. I've played off the reds there and I played off the whites, but it's a great course. And when I was actually doing a bit of research on this, I realised that Alistair Mackenzie and Eddie Hackett actually both designed this course. So Alistair Mackenzie did the original 9 holes and then Eddie Hackett did the 18s. Yeah, it gets my vote. It's a great course. I know it's a very busy golf course though, so if people are looking to book it, I'd recommend go as soon as possible.
I didn't know it was Mackenzie design, so it perked my ears straight away because he designed some good golf courses, St. Andrews, Lynch, Augusta National, and many, many more. I often think, did he do all of them? Is that physically time-wise possible? But yeah, it's on my list now. I actually used to be in Nina a lot for work. I never darkened the door, but I'll be making a point of it in 2026 to head down now.
For sure. And so tell us what your golf course this week under €50 is, Paddy.
Well, I was surprised because I didn't think it would be under €50, this particular golf course. I Googled it and I was like, this won't be under €50. And it is the Heritage in Killarney, designed by Sevi Ballesteros. And I was right in my deduction because normally it's not €50. However, they are doing a Race to La Cala 4-person team winter series. It's been going on since before this podcast existed. It's gone on since October 1st and it will run until March 31st. So you still have time to get in and out, folks. So it's a winter series. There's loads of prizes, but the big prizes are there's 2 free night 3-round golf breaks for 4 people to La Cala, Spain, to be won. Who does not want to be in Spain, next year at any time? So it's not an ad. I Googled it. I Googled courses under €50, not in Wicklow, because we were unofficially working for the Wicklow Tourist Board there for a couple of episodes. And this Race to La Cala series popped up. So yeah, it's a 4-person team event. It's €50 per person. The top 24 team scores across the whole series goes to grand final on Friday, April 10th. So I thought that was a doozy. I've played it a number of times. It's a class course.
Oh, do they have a really long par 3 in that course, or am I dreaming? Is there?
The 17th, I think, is about 200 and too many yards away. Yeah, but it's a class course. So what is one course everyone should play at least once in their life?
Okay, the course I chose is Ballybunion Old. It's probably, it's in my top 2 favourite links courses in the world. It's absolutely amazing. Now, what's funny about Ballybunion is Ballybunion has the old course and then Ballybunion has the Cashin course. Now, my opinion might be slightly skewed by my performance because when I played Ballybunion Old, I played very well. And when I played the Cashin, I played the worst golf I've ever played in my life, probably lost 15 golf balls and never wanted to set foot on the first tee box of the Cashin course again. So the Old is so stunning. The dunes are some of the highest dunes though. Like, in all seriousness, no matter how I played, the dunes in Ballybunion they're absolutely mind-blowing. Like, you start the first hole, you think, "Okay, this is grand," hitting down, you're sort of passing a graveyard. But as you go into the course and even, like, along the back nine, I think it's like 14, 15, you're playing right up against the ocean. I know it's expensive. I know it is hard and it's difficult to get on, but if somebody was creating a bucket list of golf courses in Ireland, I would absolutely vote Ballybunion Old.
Ballybunion, it's always on everybody's list. It is one of the most top rankingest golf courses of Irish golf courses in those rankings that drive a lot of opinions. But good news for you, maybe, which maybe you probably did know, is that the Cashin course is going through extensive work being led by Tom Watson. I think the company is Atlantic Golf Construction. I did a quick Google there. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting back down and doing a 36-hole excursion around Ballybunion to see what's what.
Me too. And as I said to you, I've bad memories because I played so bad in the Cashin, but you just have to get back up on the horse. So once they open, we'll go straight down, Paddy, and we'll play 36.
I'm game.
Nice. Now, Paddy, what is your one golf course in Ireland that people must play once in their lifetime?
My caveat on that question is for people doing top fives or top tens, or what's the one golf course you should always play at least once, is you have to play it yourself. There's plenty of people on rankings committees and they haven't played half the courses they're putting on them. But anyway, that's a different podcast episode and a different rant. Ceann Sibéal is proper links course on the Dingle Peninsula. Firm turf, natural dunes, incredible views. Star Wars was filmed out there. And a layout that asks you to think your way around. So it was Christy O'Connor Jr., I believe, and Mr. Hackett, and changes are being done by Ken Carney. So I could have picked the who's who, the what's what, the top fives and top tens, but the reason I go to Ceann Sibéal is you're 10 minutes from Dingletown, which makes it ideal for a stay and play. There's great food in the clubhouse. The clubhouse, actually, in Ceann Sibéal, won best golf restaurant in Europe a couple of years ago. Go for the Scampi. Scampi and a couple of pints of porter. It's unreal. But Dingle is only 10 minutes away. So great pubs, great food. Go to Gainey's. You have music after the golf. You don't have any of the long drives. If you want authentic Irish links, one of the best off-course scenes in the country, Ceann Sibéal fits perfectly. By the way, fun fact, the Sleehead Drive. So it's technically on Sleehead, which is connected by a little bridge beside the Dingle distillery, just outside of Dingle. And the Sleehead Drive is officially recognised as one of the most scenic round journeys and is part of the Wide Atlantic Way. But it's on National Geographic's like best roads to go through. But you get views of the Blasket Islands, Mount Brandon, the Atlantic coastline. So from Ceann Sibéal back to Dingle, you're essentially driving a stretch of the Sleehead Drive. And what makes the post round journey every bit as memorable as the golf. But if you were to stop, and I always do, so you come up from the golf course, back up the road, turn right instead of left, turn right for the Sleehead Drive, is you stop at Dunqueen Pier, which is brings the ferry out to the Blasket Islands, out to Peg. But you're talking steep, incredible, vertical views, very Instagram friendly. So it's Ceann Sibéal for me, and a bit of culture, the Sleehead Drive.
I love that. I played Ceann Sibéal twice. It's so cool. It's so different. It's so quirky. I love the first couple of holes as well. They're not too long, so they kind of trick you into thinking the course isn't going to be difficult. And then all of a sudden, you hit the middle section and then the back section, and then you're going up that long 18th. It's a nice finishing hole, actually, as well.
And you never know who you'll meet after. There's plenty of Kerry senior footballers out that way that are members. There's plenty of, the Coronas tend to play down there. Danny and the Coronas, might meet him anywhere.
Yeah.
Who's the band from Dingle? I forget. But you could meet the who's who of Irish celebrity, basically, in that little clubhouse there any day of the week.
Love that. My sister told me a story, actually, of when she was down in Ceann Sibéal last April. And they have an amazing, like, they're really open to children and juniors playing. And she told me that she went out and played her round. There was juniors practicing, going out. And when she came back, the same kids were still there like 4.5 hours later, and more kids joined them. And then she started chatting to people, and they actually said, like, the junior program is apparently amazing in Ceann Sibéal for golfers. So it's really great to see somewhere that is seemingly, like people would say, a little bit off the beaten track, to have such a tight-knit golf community there. So it's fair play to them. And yes, I recommend it. And I do have a Ceann Sibéal flag somewhere as well. I must try find that and we can clip it in.
Do get down there. Cormac Flannery will take care of you. He's the GM. And Walking on Cards was the band I was thinking about. They were massive in Ireland a couple of years ago.
Today is a very exciting day for us on our 5th episode of the podcast. Lauren Walsh is our first official guest, and what an honour it is to have you. So thank you so much for coming on, Lauren.
Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, very exciting times, and yeah, delighted to be on.
Good, good. Look, we'll dive right into it. How does it feel to have achieved a lifelong dream of earning your LPGA Tour card? And now what does it mean to you to be representing Ireland over in the States?
It's just so special. Even you just saying that, I'm like, sometimes can't even believe it's like happening. But honestly, so cool. It's been a crazy week, the past week, just kind of being able to come home, celebrate with my family, and kind of soak it all in. It's been so special. But yeah, I've been dreaming of playing on the LPGA for a long time now. So the last 2 years on the LET has been a great experience and kind of a great building block to progress my game and like kind of develop as a player. So yeah, a dream come true. So exciting.
Amazing. Before we actually go into your development, the tournament was reduced from 90 holes to 72 due to rain, frost delays.
hmm
Absolutely everything was thrown at you guys. Tell us how you spent your time off the course and what did you do to stay focused on the
hmm
task that you had at hand?
Yeah, like Q school is a long, grueling week. So, you're constantly just trying to stay busy and, distract yourself from the golf. It's always nice in the evenings to switch off. I was staying with a good friend of mine, so we started a show during the week, which was a lot of fun. And then, yeah, the first day actually got completely rained off. So I had like just flown over from Spain, a very two quick practice days, and was like ready to go, raring to go. And then we wake up, we get the kind of notification, okay, course is waterlogged. We'll, update in 2 hours. 2 hours come along, waterlogged, no play for the day. So at that point, it's only 9 in the morning and we have a whole day to, spend now. Me and my friend got straight online, saw there was like a simulator like 30 minutes away. So we're like, you know what, we'll book into that just to kind of stay loose, hit a couple balls. So that was fun. Headed over there with, at that point, my dad and my coach Shane were still there. So we all kind of headed over, hit a few balls. We had some pool tables. So we played a couple of games of pool. I beat my dad for the first time ever in pool, which like just set me up for a good week. So it was nice just to be able to switch off and kind of distract ourselves. Obviously, still warm up for golf, but kind of just switch off as well. I think stuff like that's really important on immense weeks like Q school.
That's deadly. So you accomplished two big things last week: beating your dad at pool and securing an LPGA Tour card.
Absolutely, yes. Big life goals there.
Yeah, I've never been through it, but I've spoken to a few people, and we've spoken in the past about how Q school is quite a grueling process. Like, it's set up for 5 rounds, for yourself it was reduced to 4. But like going into the week, it's grueling. You're traveling a lot. I think a lot of people forget that tour players travel the globe. We might ask later on how many stamps are on the passport. But what is your mental approach to when you're coming into? I've 5 rounds of golf here. It's going to be long, high stress process. What's your mental approach like?
Yeah, I think like I've spoken a lot with my sports psychologist this year of like doing a better job at switching off the golf course. So, our days are long, you're getting to the golf course early for a full warm up. Full day of golf, maybe some practice after, but maybe before, especially when I first turned pro, like golf was kind of, it became my full-time job then. So it was like you're so engrossed in all of it. So I've done a much better job this year at like switching off in the evenings, and kind of that was something I brought forward, especially into a week like Q school, being able to, like I said, we started, well, my friend had already seen the show, but I think it was The Diplomat. So we were hooked on it all week. So it was like straight
Class
home,
show.
make some dinner, really, really good. So I still need to finish season
I
3.
won't
But
tell you what happened.
so just stuff like that to, switch off golf, started traveling with like some coloring books, and like the girls have seen it like a jigsaw over the year, just like little things like that to kind of think of anything but golf. So that's been, big for me all year, but especially this year, or especially this week when things are just so intense, and obviously it means so much. You kind of, yeah, just need to distract yourself as much as you can.
Deadly. Was there throughout the weekend the delays, but was there a particular shot, or maybe it was a moment in the simulator with Shane and your dad in that week in Alabama when you felt like it was like a turning point for your week?
I think I was like plodding along quite nicely. Like obviously didn't get off to the best of starts, but kind of I think I shot 1 or 2 under the second day and the third day to kind of get myself back in it. And I knew in the stretch of, 4 or 5 day tournament, like I'm always going to get on a hot run of, just my nature as a golfer, I always get on a hot run, make a bunch of birdies. And so I kind of was just staying patient. Like I knew I had 4 rounds, like that's going to happen at some point, and like I'm going to make a birdie, then I'm going to make another one. So I think for me, like a big, like the moment that springs to mind is in the final 10 holes that last morning. I was going out knowing, okay, I'm going to have to shoot 3 under in these 10 holes to get it done. I was well aware of where I was on the leaderboard, and kind of I made my first birdie. I like hit it to 3 feet, kind of tapped it in for birdie. That was like, okay, that's one. And then 2 holes later on the par five, I hit a nice wedge into 6 feet and hold that one for two. And at that point, I knew I was kind of on four, which was probably it at the time, but I knew for me I probably had to get to five. And the next hole, the par three, it's kind of a tough par three over the water. Kind of was trying to hold off a shot into a back right pin, kind of pull a little bit, so it's kind of over the crest of a hill. So kind of quite a difficult, like 45-footer coming over the hill. And the greens were lightning fast that week, so rolled it 7 feet by, and that 7-footer for par coming back after just making a birdie was huge. Like that was kind of what set the tone for, the 2 birdie putts that followed on 16 and 17. So rolling in that kind of 7-footer for par, I'd give myself so many chances from, it's funny, I shot 5 under bogey free, but I missed like 3 putts inside 10 feet for birdies in the very beginning because I was like hitting it so well. So kind of get that confidence back with my putter and like roll that one in the middle was huge. So, yeah, that kind of
Deadly.
is what sticks out to me.
Deadly.
It's really great to hear that, because I said this to you the other day, Lauren, and myself and Paddy were actually doing the same. We were refreshing that scoreboard. I'm going to say 500 times, and it took
Yes.
so long to update. And then we could see the birdies and the pars.
Yeah.
Like every golf WhatsApp I was in was on that. Their website could have crashed. Like it was crazy. So it's amazing to
Mhm.
actually hear like about that par save.
Yeah.
Because that could have put you off kilter going on to 18 then, and knowing that you're on the line. And like when you finished, obviously the emotions are so high, and you're a really, really driven person. And when does it go from pride and relief to, okay, I'm on the LPGA tour now next year, potentially starting in March. When does it go to, right, what's next? What's my plan now? How long do you celebrate this for? And then when do you just kick into gear again?
I think like my brain is constantly on like go, 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 go. So I think, everybody around me since I've come home, has really tried to grind me and be like, okay, let's enjoy this for a couple more days before we completely dive into what's next. Had a great meeting with like Shane over the weekend, which was great to kind of, set some plans and some dates in mind for the new year. Yeah, it was a very proud moment for me and my family. And yeah, we celebrated this weekend, but I think we'll be celebrating the whole Christmas. And then come kind of probably, the week after Christmas, I'll get back into full routine and practice and everything. Yeah, trying to soak it all in while I can, because, it's been such a big achievement for my whole family, not just for me. Yeah.
And who was the first person you rang after you actually finished on 18?
Yeah, so this is funny. So I obviously go in, sign my scorecard. I'm pulled for media straight away, but then once I walk over to my caddy who's with another Irish caddy, and he was like, "Oh, I'm texting your dad, like you need to go call your dad," because for context, my dad was there the whole week, but he had to fly home a day early to get back for work. So he flew home, ended up missing his flight to Dublin, so he was rerouted through London, and then of course the storm is happening at home, so he took off from London, tried to land, the plane couldn't land, so they flew back to London. So he's in the air while all of this is going on. So those like
Jeez.
last 2 hours, I'm on the golf course. So Harry was like you're. I was just texting your dad, like go call him. So I called, didn't answer because his plane is like in the air. So once he landed, he texted me. He's like, Lauren, I just switched off my phone. I knew you'd do it. Like well done. Like we're so proud. Yeah, obviously missed his call, but he was the first one I tried to call, but called mom straight away because I knew she was at home with the rest of my family. Yeah, it was just all the cheers from the other side was just amazing.
It's amazing.
That's class. That's class. Very, very wholesome. This was very wholesome. It might be a bit different now in 2026, but we'll take this year, like a year in review. If we were to follow you for a week on tour, what would surprise people most maybe about your daily routine?
Let me think. I think our days are quite long. I think a lot of people think like, you go and it's all glamorous on Instagram and everything, but like they're early starts. Normally you're up, you've travel to the golf course, you're kind of in the gym, warming up, then you've your warm up, then you've probably a 5.5 hour round. then you've lunch, maybe a bit of practice, and then, so they're quite long days. But I would say probably one of the more surprising things is like the atmosphere on tour. I think it's, you know, we're we're supposed to be these competitors that are like competing against each other, but we really do have such a fun time between everyone. The best parts are like the evenings, like going for dinner with all the girls and even just sitting around in the Airbnb, like playing cards or just having the chats or whatever. Like I think the giggles and the laughs that we have outside of golf is probably that's probably the most, I guess, surprising thing when we're all like competing against each other day in, day out. So
One big happy tour family.
we are indeed.
When you say about like the girls on tour and stuff, I think I saw, I don't know what month it was, but it's definitely this year, Sarah Byrne on her Instagram story bought a toaster one week. Must be a really big toast.
Seeing that.
Must be a big toast fan. But is there anything outside the box like that maybe you've bought on a travel week that might be a bit outside the box on a given week on tour?
I'm probably I'm very much the mom on tour that has everything in my suitcase you could possibly need. So
the toaster is in the bag. That's what you're saying.
Maybe not the toaster, but if there is anything else, I'm normally the go-to. Lauren, do you have like whatever it is that someone needs? So no, I don't think I've had to go shopping for outside the box, but that's probably because I have something in my suitcase that will make do for something. So
Love that. You're like Mary Poppins then, I'd say, on tour.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking then of like life off the course, Lauren, so you're home now for a couple of weeks. What does like the perfect day off golf look like for you?
Yeah, not that there's very many of them, but I do enjoy when they come along. I guess for me, if I'm at home, I get up, go for a coffee, a nice like walk or something in the morning, maybe a trip to Kildare Village, some shopping in there, that's always fun. And make it home, maybe pick up Ed from school, then mom comes in, we have the chats in the afternoon. Yeah, very wholesome, very, very nice. I do enjoy spending some time with my family when I can. And yeah, have to get some shopping in as well. So
It's amazing. I think everybody, us in our circle at Forefront here with Paddy, everybody around you sees how amazing your family bond is. So like we all have
yes.
so much respect for the support that you have. So it's awesome. And one more one from me just in this segment, Lauren, is, and I know I always say this and I do mean it, but Irish golf, like for women in particular, is the most exciting place it's ever been. And now you have made it onto the LPGA Tour. How do you feel like being part of that momentum? Because there's only 3 women ever in the history of Ireland that have made it onto the LPGA Tour, and you're one of them. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's only when you say it like that, it's so, so cool. And I think, there's all these girls coming behind me as well. And, we've had such a good time out there this year. And yeah, I just think it's amazing, like there's going to be so many kids out there now that will be able to see, like, yeah, I'm from Ireland, like I can go play on the LPGA, which I think is, such a special message to be able to like send out to kids. And like I know even just in my area, like my little brother and all his friends, like they're all getting into golf now, and I just think there's such a like golf is so in such a great place, as you guys know. It's really growing and developing, and to have myself, Leon, and Stephanie out there now, it's yeah, it's great. And I think the increase in coverage, so more people will be able to watch us out there. Like I just think everything is really coming together at this time, and yeah, I'm just so excited to be a part of it.
Paddy, you said this the other day, like Lauren now really is opening the floodgates. Like if you can't see it, you can't be it. And now everybody coming up after you can see it.
Yeah, no, it's so special. And yeah, it's just really exciting to have those kind of role models to be able to look up to. And yeah, I'm hoping I can stay out there for a couple of years and yeah, keep riding the wave of the momentum.
20 years. 20 years to be out there, not a couple. A couple of segments we've been talking to on our show now. Maybe that you're a bit of game to have a bit of fun. It is Christmas. Right off the bat, now you don't have to say, you can't call your home club as the answer, right? So you've got to veto your home club here. What is Lauren Walsh's most underrated course in Ireland?
Most underrated course, I think. I don't know if it's necessarily underrated, but it is one that I enjoy. I do love going out to Woodbrook. I think the kind of linksy parkland kind of vibe has always been good fun. Played some championships out there, and yeah, it's a really good test. It's always windy out there, and yeah, I don't want to offend anybody. It's not underrated in my eyes, but yes, yeah, I think it's always one of my favorites. I do get to go back to if I can.
No, you're dead right. They're holding two big Golf Ireland championships there in 2026. And it's the first place I brought young Sophie to. She's 5 now. But when she was 3, I
Very
brought her
good.
to one of the women's amateur championships was on there 2 years ago. So yeah, she was
Very
like,
good.
where are the boys? I was like, this is just for girls. And she was like, I like this game. I like it.
Nice.
And then another segment that we've actually had, and it's actually funny you mentioned Woodbrook because we had a lot of comments suggesting Woodbrook was one of the most underrated courses in Ireland. So that's great to hear. And so in 2026, Lauren, anywhere in the world, which 3 courses are you most looking forward or hoping to play at?
Yeah, I think Royal Liverpool St Anne's for the Open in, I think it's August, July, sometime around in the summertime. Obviously, yeah, I'm already confirmed in the field, which is very exciting. I know they've hosted, a major championship before, so definitely up there. I think obviously like a big goal next year is to play in the US Open in Riviera, which would be just amazing. It speaks for itself. And then I think the third one, the Aramco event that's co-sanctioned with LET is going to Shadow Creek in Vegas. I think that's where the LPGA match play has been on before. Since the field was announced, or since the event was announced, I've heard all the caddies be like, oh, there's holes 1 with 8s and 7s and it's so difficult. So I'm excited to get out and see like how they set it up for us. And yeah, I always do like a difficult golf course. So I think they're my 3 for next year.
Deadly. So this question might be redundant now because we know how much goes in the check-in for Lauren Walsh on tour. But golf clubs and phone aside, what is an item you must have when traveling?
Probably my Kindle. I do love my Kindle when I'm traveling. Yeah, it's been another one of those things that I kind of do on the side. So yeah,
What sort of books do you read? You
a bit of everything, to be honest. I'm always up for recommendations. I was just talking to a friend earlier.
There you go. Will Smith's book hits you hard, does Will Smith? Atomic Habits, Make Time. There you go.
I'm trying to read like fiction, like
non-productivity books.
Yes, because I want to switch off from golf. So I feel like if I read like a bunch of, again, I might have one of them on the side going at the same time, but I like to read just stuff for fun because, again, to switch off from golf.
I'd recommend a book right now, but my camera is actually resting on it. It's called It Starts With Us, and it's part of the It Starts With Us and It Ends With Us saga.
Yes, I haven't started the series, but I feel like that could be my next venture.
Totally. I'm the same as you, like to switch off away from the world.
Yes.
Lovely stuff. Lauren Walsh, thank you so much for coming on the show. We will continue to track you hard in 2026, but just hope, I'm pretty sure the website will be refreshed a little bit faster being on the LPGA Tour now.
Hopefully, yeah, no, thanks for all the support, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Lauren.
Well, there you have it. That was our first ever guest interview. Kudos to Lauren Walsh, an unbelievable achievement from a great family based in, they're from Castle Warden, so only a couple of fields over from where I am here. So I might grab for a coffee for the winter period, but really, really grateful to Lauren for joining us there. Eimear, it's the end of the episode now, so you know what's coming. My favourite part belongs in a mug. Put it on a t-shirt. What's your up and down of the week?
My up is that I finally got back into running, which I'm really, really excited about. Yeah.
No more excuses, no more downs.
No more downs, no more knee trouble. So I'm really excited about that. And look, all the running and the exercise and the fitness goes into like 2026 golf goals. So we're there. And my down is that I took out my golf bag yesterday and I found a rotten black banana in there.
Oh, I was going to say.
And I put my hand in and pulled it out. I was actually going to send you a photo. Oof. And then I was like, no, I'll save it for the podcast.
Not suitable for podcast. NSFP, not suitable for podcast.
So if anybody is listening to this, please go check your golf bag for rotten fruit, because you can guarantee 1 in 100 of you, there's going to be something in there.
Let us know. Send your emails into podcast@scratchsocialhq.com. What's the worst thing you found in your golf bag? Or hit us up on the DMs on social media at Scratch Social HQ is where we live. Yeah, that's some serious down of the week.
Oh, I honestly, I was trying to hold it back so much. Then I was like, will I keep it? Then I was like, no, that's absolutely disgusting. Okay, Paddy, what is your up and down of the week?
My up of the week was my mother texted me. I'm 38 years of age and she still saves all the newspaper clippings when anything golf is mentioned. And anything golf, Irish golf is on telly. So Shane Lowry was on the Late Late Show last Friday, just gone. And I said, what's the toy show? And I saw the bit he did for young Declan on the Late Late Toy Show, and that was very heartwarming. But then he was on himself, talking about, Ryder Cup and memories and how his family means so much to him. And then our guy, Patrick Keelty, opens up, surprises Shane with Declan. And the look on Shane's face when Declan was unveiled was incredible. Just so wholesome. It just sums Shane up. He's so good with fans. He's so good with kids. He's so grounded for a multi-millionaire, could be up his own behind, given what he's won. He's just an all-round nice guy, really. So up awfully. It's hard to say as a Clareman, but, we're over 1990 at this stage. Ask your better half there about 1998 in Clare hurling, and he'll tell you a big, long story about refs wearing 2 watches and still getting the time wrong. Down of the week, embarrassing moment, really embarrassing moment, was caught out as being so amateur, cause for being unprofessional, but we're not getting paid, so you're only professional if you get paid. But last week's pod, I left a blooper in. So my best friend Eimear here tends to go, oh, no, I'll do that bit again. And then I edit it all out, or AI does. But I left one of them in by accident. But we rectified it about 11 seconds after the podcast went live. So thank you for your due diligence, Eimear. But yeah, I will do better.
It's all good. It's all a learning. It's all progress. And that ends episode 5. I can't believe we're 5 episodes in already.
We've beaten the statistic. A lot of podcasts don't go past episode 3. That's why we launched with 3. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. Thank you for being my co-host. Please, people, do get involved. Leave a podcast review if that's your thing. Get in touch with the show if we've struck a chord. If you agree with us or don't agree with us. But yeah, from me, Paddy.
And me, Eimear.
Keep it social. I got it in. Episode 5, I got it in. 5.
It's good. Bye.